Anna Clark, I don't know much about her. There's no record of her ever having lived here. So there's a lot of hearsay about that.
I actually like to believe in her. I think I can feel her here.
The cats were found in the 1940s. There's a closed off chimney above here on the next floor. That's where they were found. There's a lady who lives in All Saints, she must be in her 80s, her dad was part of the crew that found it. But they don't know how long they'd been there. They don't know whether they were alive or dead when they went up there, whether they were put there or got there of their own accord.
So we absolutely know nothing about them. I like to think that my own cat knows that they're there. The spirits of. Yeah. Because he does often play in quite strange ways, as if he's playing with something else.
When we first came in here, I think within 3 weeks we'd had this psychic TV crew in. And then 2 of them spent the night here, a guy called Granville and his missus. Granville's a little Yorkshireman. And he's on this table here, he set up a TV, ordinary TV, with a video and an infrared camera and pointed it at the fireplace. And things sort of started to happen, and then my Mrs. Michelle came down because we were making a bit of noise, and she said, "Oh, what's going on?" And when she stood in front of the fireplace, and I think she said, "Come on then, come out to play," turned round and walked away, and the place just filled up with these sort of orbs and things. What? Turned light on? Nothing. No dust or anything. Turned it back off again, and there was something there, and it knocked Michelle sideways.
I had quite a bad episode that night. First I was getting worked up because they were going to be all around the house and I didn't want them to stir anything else up because what I was feeling was scary enough. So I think that was probably the nub of it. It was like, don't leave me with something I can't deal with. It was almost like I was possessed that night while they were filming because I'd got myself so worked up, and I'd come across on the filming as if I was completely paralytic and I'd had one drink. You know, even he had to steady me because I was so, in fact he went out and bought that for me. On the first time they came in and filmed us, that's the Pentacle, he went out to get that. Because I was so scared at what I'd seen, I couldn't quite believe it, and it really, really did unnerve me. The UK paranormal team came in, they set up their equipment upstairs. We gave them the whole of the...
Oh, they had fun, didn't they?
They had great fun up there, didn't they? They did a Ouija board and they got... I was reading the paperwork last night, actually.
That's right.
Because he typed it all up for us. And they got a young girl called... Was it Sarah? Or something like that?
Sarah,
I think it's
yeah.
Sarah. Who was the sweetheart of a highwayman. Only it was a big secret affair or something, and when it came out, she was killed at 26. So they got her through. But whilst they were talking to her, they asked how many spirits were living in the house, basically. And what she said was, there are 9 spirits that are here all the time. Tonight there are 79 because they like the music. The bar staff have witnessed stuff. Most of the bar staff don't know about Ali.
Terry doesn't like the back cellar, does she?
Terry doesn't like the back cellar. She's my friend and works on the bar. But also, quite often at the back bar, she said she feels like there's people waiting to be served, and she'll come to the end, there's nobody here. But she said it's a feeling she gets a lot. Things have shot off the shelves. I think Swerve's had experiences here.
In fact, Swerve, he still works for us. He came down, he stayed here with his girlfriend one morning, one night several years back. Came down, there was white feathers all over the place. It's not so much creepy as a sort of, oh, that's odd. And then trying to find a reason for it, and you just think, oh, it's the stag sort of doing its bit again. But they were everywhere, even in a CD case. Everyone who's lived here that I know has spent time in the building has picked up on it. And apparently one Christmas, through to the back bar, someone pinned some mistletoe on it. And for 2 nights the building didn't like it. Apparently it grunted and groaned and everything. They took the mistletoe off and it stopped.
The first year that we were here, the first Christmas, I went into a panic. I was like, make sure there's no mistletoe. You know, we've been told that the house shakes completely when somebody brings mistletoe in.
The couple that happened to now live in Rye, they're quite, you know, they're not given to flights of fancy. But it certainly had an effect on them.
I'd already said as soon as I got in here, I knew there was stuff here, and I just sort of said out loud, don't give me a visual, because I don't want to be scared of my own house. What I was getting was a really sort of scary man, and it was on the middle corridor on the next level, which we've converted for all the guests. It was freezing cold in certain places, and Alan was trying to find gaps, and he did find lots of gaps and holes in walls and cupboards and stuff like that. But I could still feel it. The temperature changes would go from that to that, literally. I'd be nice and warm and suddenly it would hit me. It's almost like it was coming to me to sort of, how can I explain it? As soon as I walked into the room, it would know I was there. And then what used to be the sitting room, which is now guest room 1, we had our sofa and chairs in there. It's just at the top of the first flight of stairs here. And I could, sitting in my armchair, I could feel someone come in the room all the time. I could feel it. And it was a young girl, somebody around about 12, 13 maybe. And I was absolutely convinced. And I'd got myself to a state where I was saying, sit down, you're all right now. We'll take care of you, we'll be all right. And I was almost like I was losing it myself.
So there's stuff here. I couldn't tell you what it is. And the smaller ones. And the smaller ones. And this stuff was put.